All right, we're doing ban list stuff as fast as I can. This is a prediction, not a wish list. Let's get it going. Starting off with the meta decks, Drytron. I want to see Eva go to 0. I think if that stops it, you don't see nearly as many negates set up for the Herald. And also you don't have the degeneracy of like consistently getting access to Orange Light. If Orange Light isn't searchable that way, I'm not sure how playable it is. I'm sure it's still decent, but like not nearly as good. So I want to leave Ben 10 because I still want the deck to be playable, but that's fine. Moving on to Tri Brigade. This one's tough. I'm going Revolt to 1. I think if you put it to 0, it like forces the deck to have to play like, you can't play pure anymore. You like have to play the bird up version or whatever, like, you know what I mean? Or a zoo version or something. And it's not nearly as good. I think you have to pivot to like the barrier statue slash the Samorg link. So I think that's fine. But Revolt to 1 means they're not consistently opening it the hard way and like being able to activate into stuff. So whatever. Revolt to 1. Potentially, I think Tenki get hit on here too, but I don't think they want to hit stuff like Ancient Warriors as well. So it's cool. Prank Kids. I want to see Doodle go to 1. It makes the deck lose 2 more hand traps, not just Ash, Meister, and Gamma. So that's pretty good. Just hurts their grind game and their ability to play through interruptions. Dragon League and Virtual World, I think I'm going to leave alone for this list. I don't think Dragon League's been insane. I think it's been decent. I think Virtual World has its own problems. I don't think it's like an insane deck. It's a good deck, definitely, but not insane. But that's it for all the meta stuff. Moving on to generic stuff, I want to see Red Eyes Fusion go to 0. I had a really tough time deciding whether or not I want this or Verte to get hit. I ended up on this just for the sole fact that like I'm predicting, not wishing. I kind of wish Verte would get hit, but I also think there are cool interactions with Verte, whereas there's not really cool interactions with Red Eyes Fusion. So I still think Konami wants to have Verte around so that people can summon the new hero guy when he comes out, but you know, we'll see. So Red Eyes Fusion to 0, Mystic Mind to 0. This one's a little bit of a wish list, but I think we might potentially follow suit with the OCG. This card isn't all over the place, but nobody likes playing against it. It doesn't promote fun, interactive gameplay. Get it about. Imperial Order to 0. This card, I think like the whole fan base has been screaming for this card to get banned. I know it's just a one-off, but every single deck has it in the side, and it's insane. You just set up your shit, activate all your spells, and then set that and stop and blank essentially like 2 to 4 cards in your opponent's hand, and it's just game at that point. So yeah, those are my bans. Those are all the actual hits. As far as stuff coming off the list for me, I'm going to say Orcus Harpora to 1. I'm very reluctant on this, but you know what? Screw it. Listen, it just summons Gear Suit. Like, that's the really scary thing, is like summon Gear Suit. Like, that means just you could try and play, get negated with 1 fan traps, then just activate Foolish Burial for Orcus. For Harp, Harp summons Gear Suit, and then Gear Suit resolves, and that's your whole combo. Like, it's kind of crazy. So reluctant, but going for it. Yatagrasu to 3. Card sucks ass. Get it up out. It's more of just like a legend at this point that it's still in the ban list, but he can come off. Magispectre Unicorn Kirin. I don't have Electromite on here coming off, but I do want to give Pendulums a little something, and I do think that's a pretty powerful card to give them there. And I know without Electromite, they don't consistently get to it as easily, but it is a pretty nice card for them to have access to. Next up I have Skullcrobat Joker. Put it to 2. I think that's my prediction. You know, it's Konami. They like being safer than sorry. So, you know, put Skullcrobat to 2. You know, and then eventually get him to 3. I don't think it's that big of a deal. So that's another card for Pendulums. Mirage Stallion to 3. Literally, I don't think people play more than 1 copy of it, so who gives a fuck? Scapegoat to 2. I want this to go to 3 because I just think, like, who cares, right? Like, very, very specific decks can even try to play this, and it's slow anyway, and 1 card link 4s are everywhere. Like, every good deck has, like, 1 card link 4s or, like, something of that equivalency in terms of power. So, like, who cares about Scapegoat? Trickstar Light Stage, I think if we get rid of Dragoon or get rid of the ability to like Verte into Dragoon, I don't think Trickstar is a generic like easy 1 card Link 2 engine really matters that much. But I do think like people that actually want to play Trickstars can't do it without the consistency of 3 Light Stage. So give them Light Stage. I think they've been power crept enough where I think that'll be like totally fine. Metaverse to 2. I think if that's only under the precedent that we hit Mystic Mind to 0. Obviously, but I think there are decks like Lair of Darkness that gives them a way to search their copies of Lair very, very easily. So I do think that could matter. And then Double Iris to 3. Like, I don't explain that. Same thing as Skullcrobat. Just, they already put it to 2. Nothing happened. Move it to 3. So for Pendulum, they'd get Kieran to 1, another copy of Joker, and another copy of Double Iris. So I actually think that's a nice little buff, especially to specifically Pendulum Magicians. But yeah, those are my banlist predictions in 5 minutes. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts down below, what you agree with, disagree, anything you'd add, anything you'd take off from my list. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. But everybody has their own because it's banlist season, baby. So hopefully we get this sooner than later. Thanks for watching. Peace, subscribe, all that stuff.